A Stoic man never chases, not because he lacks desire, but because he has something stronger: discipline. Self-respect is not negotiable. In today's world, where desperation is often disguised as passion, a Stoic man stands apart. He knows that silence is sometimes the loudest answer, and walking away is often the most powerful move. Modern men are bombarded with noise. If you want her, chase her. Don't give up. Be persistent. Fight for love. And that might work in movies, but this is not a Hollywood script. In real life, the more you chase, the more you teach her that your self-worth depends on her validation. And a man who seeks to be validated has already surrendered control. Let me tell you this: when you pursue someone who's walking away, you are not chasing love. You are running from loneliness. You are negotiating with your own dignity. And you are teaching your subconscious, I am not enough unless I'm chosen. That is not love. That is emotional slavery. Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Most men today have reversed that. They give full power to the woman they are chasing, and wonder why they feel powerless when she disappears. A Stoic man reclaims that power. He does not chase. He aligns. He builds. He becomes. He lets women feel the strength of his absence, not the weight of his neediness. A man who lives by principle never begs for placement in someone else's life. He sets a standard, and he walks in that direction. He does not beg to be seen. He becomes impossible to ignore. He does not chase attention. He earns presence. And there's a difference. Instead of texting 5 times and rereading her replies, he writes once with clarity and calmness. Then he moves on. He does not sit staring at the typing dots. He does not scroll her social feed looking for signs, because he is too busy sculpting his own life to obsess over someone else's silence. When a Stoic man is ghosted, he does not explode. He does not send paragraphs. He simply vanishes gracefully, because he knows that explanations are not owed where effort was not given. Neediness is loud. Power is quiet. And when a woman senses that quiet strength, she respects it, even if she doesn't understand it. Let's talk about attention. It's currency. Spend it recklessly and its value crashes. Reserve it, and it becomes rare, desirable, unforgettable. Seneca said, associate with those who will make you better. What he meant is this: don't water weeds hoping they'll become trees. Your energy is not charity. If she pulls away, let her. If she's uncertain, let her be. If she plays games, walk. Do not punish. Do not persuade. Just depart with composure, because walking away without bitterness is a form of power most men never access. Now let's pause. Some of you might say, but what if I really love her? Good. Love her. But love her without betraying yourself. Sincerity without boundaries is self-destruction. Feelings without structure lead to chaos. You can love someone deeply and still understand that chasing them means abandoning yourself. And no woman worth your future will ever ask you to do that. You see, men often confuse persistence with power. They think showing up repeatedly means strength. But true strength is in restraint. It is in waiting without bitterness. It is in letting go with dignity. It is in walking alone without flinching. There's a quote I want you to remember. It is not from a philosopher. It is from life itself. If you have to beg for a place in someone's life, you don't belong there. Now imagine this. A man builds himself. He is calm, confident, certain of his purpose. And a woman walks away. He does not chase. He does not panic. Weeks pass, months maybe, and then she looks back. She sees he's grown. He didn't fall apart. He didn't send 100 messages. He stayed calm. He kept building. Now, she's curious. Now, she's unsure. Now, he has become a man that even his silence cannot ignore. That is Stoicism in action. Not words, not theories, just quiet, deliberate strength. A Stoic man is not heartless. He simply refuses to trade his integrity for temporary closeness. He understands that longing is natural, but chasing is optional. He is not a boy chasing butterflies. He is a man building gardens, and those who belong will come sit in that peace. So, if you feel tempted to chase, breathe, reflect, and remember, you were not made to seek validation. You were made to become a standard, to live with structure, to stand with stillness. Let her go. Let the silence speak. And let your presence, without pleading, be the thing they remember most. A stoic man never chases, because he knows what is truly meant for him will never require him to lose himself. Let's go deeper. What does it mean when a man stops chasing? It does not mean he has no emotion. It means he has learned to discipline his emotion. There is a misconception in today's culture that restraint equals weakness, that if a man doesn't fight for someone, he doesn't care. But the opposite is true. The man who can stay silent in the face of rejection, who can keep moving when every part of him wants to turn back, is not weak. He is in full control. This kind of man is dangerous, not because he threatens others, but because he cannot be manipulated. He cannot be baited with affection. He cannot be lured with temporary comfort. And that makes him unbreakable in a world where most people live for attention. He does not perform for love. He does not audition for someone's presence. He is not here to earn what should be given freely. A woman may be confused by him. She may wonder, why isn't he chasing me? And in her silence, she begins to feel the echo of his absence, because his silence is not empty. It is full of conviction. It says, I want love, but not at the cost of my peace. I want connection, but not if it demands I abandon my identity. This man isn't heartless. He's focused, and that focus will scare away the wrong people, but it will attract the right ones. Let's not pretend this is easy. There are nights when the temptation to reach out feels overwhelming. There are moments when the silence feels like it's screaming. But the stoic man reminds himself, this is not the end. This is a test. And I do not fail tests because of temporary emotion. He channels that energy into his purpose. He trains. He builds. He sharpens his mind, strengthens his discipline, and moves forward. He knows that healing does not happen through chasing. It happens through becoming. And sometimes, the only way to become who you were meant to be is to walk alone for a while. That path is quiet. That path is hard. But that path will lead you to a place no one can take from you. And when someone finally walks into your life who is meant to stay, you will not have to chase. You will not have to beg. You will not have to shrink. You will simply look beside you and see someone walking in alignment with your values, your mission, your energy. And in that moment, you will realize every ounce of restraint was worth it. Every step you walked alone made you stronger. Every moment you stayed silent preserved your power. That's what Stoicism gives you. Not the absence of emotion, but the wisdom to know when to express it and when to hold it back. So if you're in the middle of that quiet walk, if you're resisting the urge to chase, if you're wondering whether it's worth it, remember this. Every time you choose discipline over desperation, you level up. Every time you let go of someone who won't meet you halfway, you create space for someone who will. And most of all, you honor yourself. And that, above all, is what a stoic man never sacrifices. Not for attention, not for romance, not for anything. This is the path of a man with vision, a man who does not chase, a man who becomes. If this message spoke to something inside you, you're not alone. There are millions of men quietly walking this same path. Men who are done chasing, done begging, done shrinking. So if you're one of them, let me know in the comments. Let your presence be felt. And if you're building your discipline, if you're walking in silence, if you're ready to lead your life like a stoic, then subscribe. Because this channel isn't about hype. It's about becoming untouchable. From the inside out, a stoic man never chases. He becomes.